Kendrick Lamar versus Drake, and I have not talked about this yet, so here we go. Guys, there is so much that has gone on since Kendrick Lamar has graced us with his feature on Metro Boomin and Future's track Like That. We all remember when this dropped and it shook the hip-hop world, but it was a couple days before kind of anything happened. Then J. Cole came out with 7 Minute Drill, and he did that. It was kind of not great, and then he apologized and took it back. And then after some Twitter and Instagram trolling and all that stuff that Drake does so well, we finally get a track from him, a response. And this is kind of just like a tease. It was okay. It wasn't great. I always say when you resolve to kind of like making fun of somebody's appearance, like right at the beginning, you kind of don't really have anything. It feels like, at least. That's usually like a last resort. Like, oh, I don't have anything on you, so you're fat, or you're this, or you're that. So Drake kind of went to that. He was talking about 50-50 splits with labels, which again, like, that's not great, but all kinds of artists are like this. So, and Drake doesn't, it's not like Drake has the best splits with his labels. Anyway, I just didn't think it was great. We also had TaylorMade, which, that was the infamous AI, Snoop, and Tupac, and that got taken down, and I don't know, I guess Drake's being sued. I'm not sure. Again, that was kind of more of like a parody, making fun. I don't think Drake was really serious with that one. I don't think it was like a serious like diss at Kendrick. Anyway, so at this point, we're still waiting for Kendrick to respond. And then Kendrick Lamar responds, and he responds a lot. He drops Euphoria, and then a few days later, it's 616 in LA, and then Drake responds with Family Matters, and then like 10 minutes or an hour later, Kendrick just drops again, Meet the Grams, and then he drops again, Not Like Us. And pretty much as I'm filming this, Drake has dropped Heart Part 6. Of course, this music's all over the place. It's on Instagram. Most of it's on YouTube, but Instagram, YouTube, it's all over the place. There's now several of these songs that are on most streaming services, but this is wild. There is so much fire going back and forth. I personally think that Kendrick is shooting a lot more fire at Drake, but there's allegations both sides. We have Drake accusing Kendrick of domestic violence against his wife, and that's a pretty huge accusation, something that could ruin somebody's career. But then Kendrick is coming right back and accusing Drake of having another secret child, a daughter, 11-year-old. And this is just wild. But then on top of that, there's all of these accusations of pedophilia. Like on the last one that Kendrick released, this cover art is a sex offenders registry of all of these sex offenders in Drake's house. This is wild stuff. But what's it coming down to? It's coming down to we need receipts. We need receipts, guys. You can't just keep shooting fire at each other and not prove anything, because these are wild accusations. And then Drake is still hammering on the whole like domestic violence with his newest track, and he's also kind of trying to basically say that it's just rumors, all this stuff, and like his secret daughter was actually like bait from his camp to see if like he had leaks or something. It's all fishy. But one thing that we can say for sure is that Drake seems a little wild emotionally. He's going on Instagram doing all this trolling and tweeting and kind of making light of the situation at times, which that's what Drake normally does. And then we've got Kendrick this seems to be completely methodical, and he's so articulate with everything, and everything is just surgical. He's just coming in and he's cutting and he's just going at it, and this is just so crazy. Drake is very reactionary. Kendrick is very proactive with it seems. So this is going to be exciting to see how it pans out. We're still getting new stuff. Like I said, literally Drake just dropped another track like 40 minutes ago. So this is wild stuff. Whose side are you on?